3, 2, 1, Smurf. So this is Hey You Pikachu for the Nintendo 64, and it was a intuitive design from Nintendo that said, hey, let's make a game where you can talk to your TV and you won't you'll be like a super nerd, like in Pokemon, Dicks. So I got to in this section right here, it doesn't matter what I say to Pikachu. I can say anything. I can say, fuck! It's all good. It just registers as voices going into the bubble. Fuck! So you're seeing the like bars of yellow go into the bubble, and then once you see that, you can release it. And when you get really good at the game, you can kind of like release it as soon as possible. Dicks. And so here I look at 1, 2 dicks. So right there, 1, 2 dicks. Dicks. So that one was a little. That one was slightly early, so it bounced off of his head. That's a good example of what not to do. Big, fat dicks. That time you have to speak to him 3 times consecutively. Doesn't matter what you say. You can say, 1, 2, 3. You can say, suck my balls. Any of those combinations of wordplay works. But yeah, this will be a pretty linear run, for the most part. So here I actually have to say Pikachu or Penichu. 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 So actually unsuccessfully said Penichu there instead of Here I have to say good morning or hello or greet him. So good morning usually works. Good morning. You want to be like really clear and high pitched with some of your voice. It kind of sensitive as far as how you're saying it, and like it may perceive you as saying something else. Like I say horse cock, it thinks I'm saying thundershock. Throw it. Dicks. 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 And just kind of knowing like dicks when to speak to Pikachu at certain times. There should be dicks like I don't know, like just by watching it run, you'll pretty much kind of get the idea. And what's up? Like by playing the game, you'll know, oh, I'm saying something, but he's not understanding me. So let me try something else. But there's a Discord for this. Dicks. Dicks. The Hey You Pikachu Discord, and they'll answer any questions if you're interested in speedrunning it. Dicks. 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 Obviously, you're going to have a VRU voice recognition unit. Goodbye. So saying goodbye to him can be kind of stingy sometimes. We got it. Rolling up. These first 2 levels are just basically learning how the VRU system works. This whole game is pretty much a tutorial from trying to teach you how to do stuff until you finally get to the final area. So you can pretty much say whatever you want to Pikachu, you know, for the most part. So you just rip out a hairy ball sack. You know, whenever you get the urge to do that. So this is where you know, the game becomes pretty RNG dependent. The first two levels, there's slight RNG on very slight things, so you're only losing, you know, fractions of seconds on specific RNGs. Now we're getting into the part where these ingredients to get to the stew are placed all over the place completely randomly, and you have like a fast Magnemite call or the immediate Magnemite call, and then you have the you know, Pikachu's just looking stupid and not calling Magnemite and losing you 5 seconds call, 5 to 8 seconds probably. On top of the fact that the more movement you have to do in between each ingredient adds up time. These things are scattered completely randomly on this level, so you know, you want to see like all 4 of the ingredients you want right next to each other, and you want to see Pikachu giving you basically like this a counter that's like 4 and 4 Magnemite calls. You don't want it like I kind of shout out like 0 and 4, 1 and 4, 2, whatever I get. Pikachu. Carrot. And you actually want to get, you know, you need to get one of the things that Bulbasaur showed you, but you don't want to get all of them. Dicks. Sure. So here I actually got the carrot, and there's the lettuce, and there's the onion, but if I get all those, I get the tasty stew, and I don't want that. So, Pikachu. I'm gonna get this turnip instead. Turnip. Sure. So I've gotten 0 and 2 right now on immediate Magnemite calls. Sure. That's what I'm talking about. Very bad RNG. Pikachu. Try to get that second carrot. Carrot. So you actually, so right here is a bad example of what you don't want. You don't want to have Pikachu because now he has to turn all the way around. Get that carrot. Sure. And we're 0 and 3. Hell yeah. But at least the carrot worked. Sure. I'm gonna get the cabbage 4th. I mean, the spacing on these items were good. I'm not getting immediate Magnemite calls. That's costing me a lot of time. So like Pikachu, and as soon as you see him grab the thing, you can call him. You don't want to do it too early, or else he'll actually drop it. Cabbage. So, and that's a big thing. Sure. So we are 0 and 4 on immediate Magnemite calls. Sure. Also known as horrendous RNG. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, so when you go to get multiples of items, sometimes it doesn't work. Okay, because what'll happen is like Pikachu will he'll pull out like a drawing and he'll like start just playing around, and there's a lot of things that can go very, very wrong in that segment. But if you stay on the script and he doesn't pick up a mushroom, he doesn't pick up a golden apple, he doesn't pick up anything that's going to completely wreck you and make him do whatever the hell he wants to do. If you can keep him on course and get 4 ingredients, and here I got the stew that gives me 7. So you're on a money route. This is the first instance that you get money here, and you'll notice a cutscene come up after this. And this is where you start calling him an electric rat. Electric rat. because it saves time as opposed to him waving to just get the fuck out of there. And then, so I got 780 for that stew, so now I have 780 Poké dollars, right? So, losing time because, you know, that was very bad RNG. So. Here we've got a 5-minute auto-scroller, where you really can't do much, if anything, except for at a specific time. Dicks. You want to make sure that Pikachu's not distracted by Charmander, he's not eating something, he's not doing something that's not going to trigger the day to end. To get the day to end, you need to have Pikachu have no actions, and on this screen, like every like day thing has a different sort of trigger. And here, like him walking around, like right now, the day would end. Well, now that he's picked that up and he's wanting your attention, and he's doing that, the day wouldn't end. But we don't need to worry about that until a specific time on the segment timer. Fuck it. So now we're just waiting around. One thing you can do is spin around and wait for the first, like the "it's getting late" text box to appear. That has to come up, and it doesn't really seem to matter if you pull it up late. It still seems like the in-game timer is still running, so the day still should end when it's supposed to. But you know, this game, I don't know. I mean, it is pretty consistent with that. Charmander up there is your worst enemy, you know, in this area actually, because he will completely distract Pikachu, and you can lose probably about 15 seconds to that Charmander. You lose a lot of time to him sleeping. You can lose a lot of time to him wanting your attention. Like right now, right now the day would not end because he wants my attention. So you have to tell him, go fuck off, jerk off to play girl, jerk off to dicks, get the fuck out of here. Right. So get it going, get that command going, and he'll blow on something. You know, pretty typical stuff. Fuck. Right. So right here, what I can do is I can manip him to now that he's doing this jumping thing, and it happens at the same exact time on this. So I can trigger him to. Well, I mean, what I think what we call it is orbiting Pikachu, and what it does is he's kind of caught between not being able to trigger those sidebars on the screen here, which is what you don't want. And as soon as the "it's getting late" text box it will appear by doing this actually. So I kind of just have been doing this. It would be nice if you could do this for the end of the day, if there was a consistent way to do it, because then this would be a very consistent auto scroller. Unfortunately, right then he gets distracted, and then he starts doing some shit, and that's when basically you want to keep an eye on him, and you want to keep an eye on Charmander, keep an eye on him, right around a specific time. Fuck. Right, I don't want him eating, I don't want him sleeping, I don't want him talking to Charmander when the day is supposed to, because then the text box won't come up. So and it's coming in about 10 seconds. So see what he's going to do. He's looking at the Oddish. It's better than the Charmander. So right now the day should end. So once he had an animate, he had a thing going on, that the day wouldn't end because he had to do that. But then when he was done, it was over. Electric Rat. But by looking at the segment timer and just knowing exactly when that is, I know, okay, the day needs to end now. I need to have Pikachu not be distracted. So that was that segment. I only lost a few seconds to that little hands up shit. It's not that bad. It's a lot better than the Charmander. You could lose like 11 seconds, so I would take those typically. Yes. Okay. And then what's a auto scroller without a auto scroller right after it? So here we have another 5.5 minute auto scroller. Here you need to feed the blue Caterpies, and there'll be 2 of them that are mandatory to feed. Sometimes you'll get a 3rd or a 4th one that you can feed that will carry on to Viridian 2. So the Caterpies here are the same Caterpies that show up in Viridian 2. So if you're able to feed an extra 2, that's 2 less rosebuds that you need to use in Viridian 2, but there's really no way to do it besides getting lucky. Like there's no like setup for it. There's really nothing you can do here. You're on Pikachu Cam. You're limited extremely. So now he's turned blue, so now whenever Pikachu's gonna fit, or I could alert him and say, hey, there's a hungry Caterpie, but it doesn't matter. He's going to check all the Caterpies. He sees that one's hungry. Then he's going to go up here. There's a little text box skip if you immediately tell him to Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt before he hops around a second time there. Right? And then you want to kind of not look at him while he's Thunderbolting if you can, because that causes lag. And that smoke probably causes lag. So you probably want to look away. You want to kind of like get inside Pikachu and kind of do this sort of thing while he's Thunderbolting for now. Later when you get the free can, there's better ways to do it, but dicks. Right now we're trying to reduce lag. Thunderbolt creates lag. The smoke probably creates lag, I would assume. And you want to avoid that, and you also want to avoid Pikachu sleeping here, and if he's jumping around, that could be a problem because he might, and that's also a glitch there where he just kind of runs up the tree, and there's also a glitch where the Caterpies get stuck on the tree, and that's not good. That little Pikachu glitch is nothing really, it's just how the map is designed, and he'll just run up a tree because there's apparently a platform that he's able to get on, which is on that tree, and just do that. So yeah. So now we got a second one that's hungry. We're gonna want to feed him. There's going to be every day is going to have the "it's getting late" text. You're gonna have it here. It should be coming up soon, which is right here. I know that by looking at the segment timer. Thunderbolt, right? So I see the thing on his head. I know he's going to Thunderbolt. Kind of try to avoid looking at it. Try to avoid the smoke. And then make sure that he feeds the blue one or the red one. If one of these guys, what'll happen? He could steal, another Caterpie could steal the one that Pikachu brings over, the one that he knocks down from the tree. That's not a bad thing if you make sure that you feed the hungry ones, because if you don't have the hungry ones fed, you're going to get no Red Ruby, which is worth 5,000 Poké Dollars, and that's massive. in this money route that we're doing, so it's very important that you get that, and it's very important that you have the Caterpies fed. So there, that looked very nice. That looked very good. This is looking like a very good segment here. Everything went well. I didn't. So you like when Pikachu goes over those trees and starts jumping around, he'll he'll come up with a tutorial that says tell him to use Thunderbolt, but we already know that, so you just kind of tell him that before that text box comes up, and it'll never show up. That's one of the few things going on there. Electric Rat. Yeah, I hope you're all learning your Hey You Penis Shoe lore. I hope that's sinking into Hito and Dez's Here comes the fishing. Here it's again pretty straightforward. We just need to catch 6 fish. We don't want 7. That's gonna be slower because he's gonna have another. You're gonna miss the cutoff when you want to end the day. Dicks. Because what's gonna happen is you're going to trigger a cutscene, and the day cannot end while that cutscene's happening on that 7th fish, and you don't want that. You want to just catch these fish right at the right time. I've noticed a lot of stuff kind of just works. Like if I say Rollin deep, it'll probably work. I just say reel it in. I just want to play it safe here. I don't want to. But you'll see, reel it in as soon as Pikachu turns red, and you can pop you can pre-pop a bubble sooner, like anticipating the red Pikachu. As soon as he's red, you can do that. He'll reel in. If these fish are too far out in the water and you say reel it in, he'll fail to pull it in, and then you don't have a second chance. Reel it in. You don't have a second chance. So right there, that might have been a little risky, because if that Goldeen went a little further out, he wouldn't have been able to pull it in. So you gotta it's good to keep an eye on that, and it's good to kind of take it a little bit slow. Like right there, I might have been a little fast. So, but you also want to be ahead of the game. Reel it in, so that when you get to the 6th fish, you're looking at the segment timer, and you know that okay, this is when the day is supposed to end, and then you know it's time to reel in the 6th fish. Reel it in. Right, so far so good. It doesn't matter what the fish are. It doesn't matter how many inches they are. It doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is that you catch 6 fish here. If you were trying to do like what we might be thinking about making, reel it in, which would be like a meme category of catch all fish or something, like different types of fish. Then that would be a different story, but for this, doesn't matter. We just reel it in. So that one was a couple seconds late, I believe. But nonetheless, we got 6 fish. That went very well. Pretty good that happened in a marathon, because what could have happened is I could have failed this, and that would bleed, and I would have to get 5,000 Poke Dollars somewhere else. But here I'm going to get the fishing flag. I'm going to get my 5,000 Poke Dollars. Electric Rat. And everything is good. Alright. Now, pretty much, yeah, so you see the fishing flag, you see the 5,000, you know you're good. You know you don't have to reset, right? Now we finally get to free roam instead of have Pikachu cam the entire time, which basically is locked in on Pikachu, and you can't do anything besides what Pikachu wants to do. Now you start to be able to move around, and this is where, you know, things get a little bit more interesting than just, okay, let me just speak into the mic. Now you have a movement, you know, mechanic in the game. Now you have all that going on, so here we go. Now it's basically, it tells you how to open this gate, or open this gate in this world. So it's telling you, okay, you push A to open that up, and then it's, so I mean, this whole beginning of the game, it's just a big tutorial of Oak, just kind of training you, you know, because you gotta have that. So, boom. Now, all I'm doing here is scrolling the camera onto Pikachu, and it's kind of like a tutorial of how to use your camera. Right, so I'm just holding right into the buffer so that I immediately scroll over to Pikachu. Good morning. Right, you gotta get a good morning in there. This one you actually have to move over to Pikachu, so I use the C buttons, which gives you like a strafing. It's kind of like, you know, I don't know, GoldenEye or something, but that's kind of a big step up from this game. So, oh, that's a bad menu. So you want to pull out your cupcake or your rice cake or whatever you got there. You're playing the Japanese version. Got the rice cake. And then you get to this point, which is you got to play tag. You've got to catch him 3 times. I like to run up to him and then step back, so that way I know, like, because what'll happen if you get close to him and then he runs behind you, you don't see where he goes. Then you gotta like completely turn around to find him. So here's what I just strafe up to him. I move back a little bit. Here I see he went this way. See, and then I keep him in my sights so I know where he's at, right? And so boom, boom, boom. There might be 5, or it might be 4 times. So that's very important that you don't lose Pikachu. He's not running all over the place, because he will run around that whole place, and it's actually pretty difficult to catch him if you're, you know, when you first pick up this game or whatever, because the movement in this game, it takes, yeah, like, it takes a little bit to get used to. I mean, with my Hori controller and all that, and how I've sort of learned the game, I know what to do there. But you know, even when I first played the game, like, Pikachu was running around and I was like trying to find him, and you don't want that in a speed run. Obviously, you're losing a bunch of time. So no bueno there. So here he gives you the toolbox that he stole, and then he gives you the beach balls and apology, and it also teaches you how to open up your toolbox and put items in there, which you know, get a bunch of exciting stuff to play with Pikachu with in your Pika toolbox or your Poke toolbox, either or. Here, Pikachu finally decides to stay at your house because he's a stray Pikachu. Stay at my house. And again, everything's kind of sensitive. It wants to make sure you're saying that, so I would try to be clear when you're saying specific stuff. That's one of the specific commands. Goodbye, stay at my house, good morning, Pikachu. Like, all these are, you know, Thunderbolt. All these are commands. And once we get to the pinata, then you get even more fun commands to play with. While there's a lot, the problem with the pinata is there's a large range of commands during that time that you can give Pikachu, so he gets mixed up a lot of times with what you're saying because he thinks you'll say one thing and he'll interpret it as another thing, if that makes sense. Dicks. So if you say like good night and stuff like that, sometimes he'll wave at you and stuff like that. So you want to actually kind of stray away from telling him good night here. He'll like wave. Dicks. So yep. So again, just going through the tutorial. There's play days, or just those are discovery days. These are play days. So discovery days is like tutorial mode, to the max, and then we get to play days, which is like beginner or what, like I don't know what else to describe it. It's like, okay, now I get to start to learn how to play this game. So Spring League 2. The only thing we're doing here is we're buying an item in the shop, and then we are leaving. Which now, having the Poke toolbox, we now have a like little yellow Pokedex looking thing, and that's like your log or whatever. It's like your main system, and you can leave levels at any time with that item, and that's a very important tool because then you can just do what you need to do in levels and leave. So that comes up into play here. Go ahead and take that. I believe it makes him kind of come faster over here instead of just carrying it with him over here, but we want Pikachu to come into the range of this area so that you can open up that door. Right, and then we get here. The Frisbee's got a fast anime, but it costs 480, but it's the fastest one. Peach is kind of slow, but it only costs 200. So we'll see what we get here. Sure. And this all plays a role into how much money you have and how much money you're going to need. So now I know that I spent 200 here instead of 480, so I saved, what was that, 280 or whatever that I would have got with the flute, but I lost time because he has to eat it here and do that little fanfare and all whatnot, and it's slow. So got that going on, right? And then as soon as you get out here, boom, you can open your menu, boom, and you can go home. Riveting gameplay. Right, and then here we get into the good stuff. Which is Pinata, the Pinata Party. It's everybody's favorite part of the game. With your buddy Venusaur. My penis is sore. My penis is sore. There. Hopefully, it's been a while, so hopefully he does what you want him to do. That's what I wanted him to do. You only need to hit 2 of these, 2 out of the 3, and it's faster to do that one because the next 2 he actually spins around in a circle before you can command him. So I waste one there, and this one's free. There, because he'll walk a straight line. We want to try to pick these up if they're valuable. So that's a balloon. I wanted that, but yeah, and you got a small window of time. But all the items that drop out of there, you can grab, you can pick up, and you want to get those. I feel like we don't screw this up. I got 2 bananas. That's not good. Over here. So you can call him over here. Right. And you command him with right, left, further right. No! So he doesn't swing, okay. Left! No! Yeah, we're having some issues. Left! 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 Right! There! There! Please. There! Yes, swing. Yes, okay, we got it, so I'll take that. None of the, I want that beach net. I want that. Because that's worth 380 Poké Dollars. We want that, yes. My penis is sore. Huh? That wasn't terrible. That wasn't a terrible pinata. Like, it wasn't good, but it wasn't terrible. Here comes Miss Honor, you know, creeping, and Smurf peeking through the woods. Thunderbolt. Okay. And I mean, you can tell when it registers correctly. Dicks. 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 By looking on top of Pikachu's head and kind of seeing, like, how he reacts. I mean, you'll know when he's kind of confused, and you'll know when it doesn't work, and you'll know when these commands aren't issuing properly, and so they're like, sometimes when you say Thunderbolt, maybe it doesn't work, then just say it again. Or, you know, like, just, and sometimes, like, even then, if you say it right after, it'll bounce off his head, because there's kind of like a, it's kind of like this window where, okay, he's confused and nothing you tell him is going to work. If that makes sense, and you'll notice the bubbles are sort of bouncing off of his head, then he's not getting anything. So it's just kind of understanding how the mechanics in the game work. Here we want to do a little collectathon. We do need to open up one chest, but we only want to open up one chest. That's pretty much triggers the event here. And we can't, we need to get all these items. Penis shoe. Treasure. Right? And we also can skip a text box by immediately telling him what pops up. Otherwise they'll tell you to do it, so we don't want that. Thunderbolt! See, so I got to him before Oak could get to me. We do want to look away there, probably. And then I want to see this text box there. And then, once I get that, then he's kind of carrying that around, which makes it so he doesn't bother you. He can pick these coconuts up, he can throw these coconuts, and he can just kind of ruin your day, because you need these, and he can throw them in the water and throw them away. That's not good, so go around collecting things. Try to fill up our inventory. The bananas are worth 220. They're not as important as these beech nuts. Okay, so I noticed that's when I want to come up here and get that text box. I want that text box. It's kind of important. And I kind of, just by like the audio cue, I can also know kind of when it's time. Get that text box. Right. So the beech nuts are worth 380 or 360 or 380, either or. I can't remember. I just know that they're very important. So now he just threw the coin, so now he's going to come bother me, which we don't want. We don't want Pikachu to bother me. I'm trying to, you know, get these coconuts. Oh crap. Penis shoe. Coconut. So this is a form of distracting him. I make him just kind of mess around with that tree. So he's confused, which is not good. Penis shoe. Coconut. I can tell by the Pika that he didn't understand me. Coconut. I can tell but he's standing. Coconut. Standing there just fucking around that. I noticed by the light bulb, he understood me. And now I look, now that I have a full inventory, I'm looking at my segment timer. It's really hard to penis shoot. Coconut. It's really hard to know because like the pinata throws it off. I mean, you can have a really good pinata, and that changes things. So we're gonna watch what he's doing. You don't want him to get anywhere near close to a treasure chest. Penis shoot. Yep. So that was optimal as far as the island went, but the pinata itself cost me time. Because that was just kind of bad RNG with those 2 bananas and everything. So, just kind of like pay attention. Sometimes they'll automatically fall asleep. Sometimes you have to tell them, you know, dicks or whatever, you know, yo or whatever, you know. So yeah, that wasn't too bad for one of the harder segments of the game. So now we do that. We're gonna head over to Olivine. We just need to run over to Squirtle as quickly as possible. If you're low on money, if you missed one of the things, one of the events, you can round up Poliwags, and it'll also give you it's a backup. It's a lot slower to go collect Poliwags than just get it on a level that you have to do anyway. So here we just trigger the event for this. So I'm going to run over here. This is the way to Squirtle. Right, and I'm going to go straight there. And then the game gets kind of a little bit more complicated. Like that whole, all the way up to here, it is very, very straightforward. And really the time losses are minuscule. Aside from, I would say Pinata has been the biggest factor of is your run good now. My run was pretty like on par. I wasn't like super far behind PB until that Pinata. So if you have like a godlike Pinata, a godlike island, and then you get here, here's where shit hits the fan. There is one last sort of auto scroller, which is this, and it tells you how to use free cam, or like a. Try to think. It's like C up in Ocarina of Time. You know, now you can look around instead of like be locked into movement. And then you can also go to Pikachu mode again, which helps you find Pikachu if you don't know where he is. But other than that, it's virtually useless. See, so that's Pikachu. So if you need to find Pikachu, boom, it'll find him for you. But here it's pretty much another side scroller. We're going to be picking up as many items as we need. So since I got an extra beach nut, and I only had to get the, and I got the peach, which is only 200. I'm on a pretty good money route right now. So Pikachu cave. Right. So the first thing you want to do is get that light bulb on his head and get him running over the cave. In this section. Because you're in practice mode right now, and that means the in-game timer is not moving at all. Thunderbolt. Okay. Thunderbolt. So I need that light bulb on it. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the light bulb on his head. And then I'm making sure, sometimes in that cutscene it won't work, right? And depending on which way you're facing is actually where he's gonna sit. So you don't want to look left or right. You want to like center up with, you want to like center up with this cave as much as you can, because he's going to like come right in front of you. From there, you can once he starts doing that, you know, if you feel like that saves time from lag, which I don't think it does, but yeah. Then we're gonna do this, and now we're collecting some items. So I probably only need like six items. I'll grab 7 just because it's a marathon, and if you're short on money, you're completely fucked. Thunderbolt, but I'm pretty positive I only need like 5 or 6 items. Okay, so he didn't hear me right, and he ate the thing instead of Thunderbolt. That's not good. And I get an extra text box from Oak because of that. Thunderbolt. 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 So again, he didn't hear me right. Otherwise, he would have a lightning bolt on his head, or that. So he ate both of my potatoes, which were worth 250. Good job, Pikachu. These are worth 240, so these are 10. These are 10 Poké Dollars less than the cooked up potatoes. So it's just kind of like knowing like exactly, like you want to be at exactly I think it's 20,100 coins. So you want to be over that. Anything over that's fine, but you don't want to be anything under that. Thunderbolt. This is also worth 250. The popcorn. So that's good. You want that. You want that. So that's 5 items. 6 is definitely fine for me to get, but you know, like I said, because it's a marathon run, and if you don't have the right money count, you're just completely fucked. So I mean, or if it's your first run or whatever, you know, and you just want to get through, make sure you have the right money count and get what you need. So like right here, like you know, you could stock up that you can hold up to 10 items, so you can grab, you know, full up with all 10. But I'm just gonna go ahead and stop here. I have 7 items. That's more than, it's like probably like 300 to 400 more than I need. So I got that, and then you'll notice the music slows down. That's a cue that, okay, it's getting late. And then on the segment timer, what I'm looking for, I believe, is 6. I think I'm looking for 6:10 or 6:19. Something like that, like 6:19 on the segment timer. I want Pikachu to be actually have his sidebars up this time, looking at me, which is different from earlier where you didn't want this. Now I want this right here. I want the sidebars up. I want him looking at me at like 6:15 to 6:20 or so, which is a minute from now. So he might go wander off. He might go do it. You want this. So see how the sidebars went away? And now he's doing his own thing. The day's not going to end like that. You need those sidebars up. So yeah, so that's still literally it's not really a good time for him to have that up. But like here, I'd probably be trying to do something to get him to get those down, because it's going to go down. And right now is like when I want to start having them come up. So hopefully he drops that and looks at me. Let's see. Yeah, and then hopefully it looks. That's perfect. Yeah, that's right. That's like perfect timing. Yeah. See how I got the text box? Because I know that the day is supposed to end right there. So right there, I would actually save time on PB because I got screwed by a cutscene glitch or something like that. And this is where all the hardest segments are back to back to back. Dicks. And this is daring days. So you went from discovery days, play days, and this is daring days, and rightfully so. It's basically the hardest part of the run. Right? Game expects you to know to go over there to begin it. Now the tutorial's off. And I need to go here. This is RNG. You need a real oddish and not a fake. You don't like a rat. They call them what? Alright. So I'm looking at that oddish that's on screen. I noticed it didn't move, so it's a fake one. So now I have to go around finding a real one, which is not. It's already bad RNG. Penis shoe. Oddish. So I see that one moved. Oddish. I see that one move. I know this is a real oddish. So I'm getting him to go over to that oddish, right? And then I want to be standing not too close to it and not really like so far away that Pikachu has to like run all the way over here. And then I want to be holding this water can. It's very important that he's not too, if I'm too close, then he's just gonna go straight over in water. I need this space in between so that Diglett will show up. No, right? And then I know once I see Diglett go under, I open my menu and I head out. Very important, right? So that wasn't too bad. You want the oddish to be very close to you, and you want to know that's real, and you can get really trolled there by having not being able to find real oddish at all. So once you've done that, of course, now you've got the next two of my favorite parts of it. I actually do like Viridian 3, but Olivine 2 is where the real meat is at. In the speed run. So I want Haunter to show up, and I want to alert Pikachu, Pikachu, right there, and then I want to come over here by doing this. Thunderbolt. I heard the audio cue. Thunderbolt. 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 You got it. Thunderbolt. Okay. See? And then boom. So that was good. That was actually good. Dicks. Not bad. But there's an audio cue. I hear Haunter, and then I look up and I target his ass and I get that fucker. So let's get that. Then we do Viridian 3, which is you don't move your cursor. Or Viridian 2. Viridian 2 is whatever. Viridian 2. Here I need to get 18 rosebuds, or you need to get 20 altogether. I got 2 on the first segment, so I need to get 18. There's a freebie right in front of you. You have to throw these at an arc, or else they won't. Penishu. You have to call him. You have to stare at a spot of this tree that's not. It's a Thunderbolt. I got it right away, which is good. And you'll notice that his lightning bar goes down. That means you got it right, and he's not distracted. So, and you want to pick up. You can hold 10. Fill up our inventory. Was it? That's a fucking. I know that. Okay. It's a cattail or a leaf on the ground. You can. Some of these smaller trees, you can't get the second one. Penis shoe. Right, so I'm gonna Pikachu. I'm gonna target that spot right there. Thunderbolt. See the sidebars come up. I tell him to Thunderbolt. I'm looking at the bottom left. I see that the thunder went off. I'm good. I'm golden. Like this one, I think you can only grab one. Right, and then I'm coming over here. I'm feeding the Caterpies here because one of them is going to turn blue soon, and I don't want Pikachu to get alerted and do his own fucking thing, because then I'm losing a billion years. So I'm throwing the ones that are like this at an arch, so that way they come up. So I'm noticing over here we've got a blue one. I want to feed him immediately. He's probably gonna fucking see it. I'm not good. Penis shoe. So I was too slow. That's not good. That's horrendous. So now I need to get Pikachu to stop. Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt. Oh fuck! See, and I double thunder. That's really bad. Okay, and have him. So while he's doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and go over here and collect these. That's bad, but it is what it is. You do not ever want Pikachu to be alerted of that blue Caterpie. That's really bad. Like right here, I'm probably losing like two-ish minutes. So it's very bad. And I don't think you can get. I think you only get one from that one. And also, I didn't really keep track. I wasn't counting. Okay, I think you can only grab one from that too. Penis shoe. This is probably bad. Sidebars there is not good. Penis shoe. Forget that spot right there. Thunderbolt. Oh, he got alerted of another. So yeah, this is like the worst Viridian 2 I've ever displayed. This is horrific in all manners. He's not only been alerted of a blue Caterpie once, but twice. So I can't even spell out the time loss. It's tremendous. Because I have to go babysit Pikachu. Thunderbolt when this happens and lose astronomical amount of time. Instead of what I wanted to do, which was have Pikachu Thunderbolt this tree, which always drops 4 rosebuds. Thunderbolt. Oh, he's Thunderbolting the one he fucking brought down there. Great. Penis shoe. Penis shoe. Thunderbolt. Yeah, so I probably lost about 4 minutes. Something ridiculous. It's really good. That's very terrible. I'm not happy about any of this. Okay, so by feeding the 5 Caterpies into Metapods, you don't have to wait. Okay, you don't have to sit around and wait for this auto-scroller. It'll just trigger Butterfree to show up. That's the idea. And you'll get the Ruby, you know, because they're all fed, so. Yeah, I'm not sure if the other runners around, but I'm probably going to be going to bed here soon as well. After this run, I don't know if I feel like doing filler before he shows up. Anyway, that was Viridian 2. Now we need Megaphone. Which is not first try. So I go into here and I immediately leave until I get the Megaphone. And as soon as that text box shows up, you can actually leave right from there. And we'll see how many tries this is. Dicks. If you're lucky, it'll just trigger the Megaphone right then and there after Viridian 2. Here, we're not getting a second try either, so we'll just keep entering. You just keep coming here, and you just keep entering fishing, and you keep So you see that text, you go home every time. So we did not get. So we're not getting third try either. This is why the estimate's where it's at. Part of why it's at where it's at. But we're about to basically finish the run, essentially. Dicks. And I hope, like, I feel like this is a pretty explanatory video of what's going on. I usually don't explain things. So we got fourth try megaphone, which each try loses you somewhere between 25 to 35 seconds, give or take. I would say it's roughly about 30 seconds, but it's a little less than that if you do all your menuing and stuff with the movement correctly. Because you have to go over that door, you have to do that, and come back in. And Pikachu sometimes you have to tell him to go to sleep. It's a variable. But here we have the megaphone. The louder you speak into it, the bigger the bubble. Right now, I'm not gonna like scream too loud, but like maybe to get like, and I kind of think spamming quickly seems to work the best for me. Dicks, dicks, dicks. And when you get that like cutscene, it's usually a good thing. But sometimes it'll take more. Dicks, 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 dicks. You see how the bubble is very just give you an example. Dicks, 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 dicks. He's dicks, dicks. He kept inching forward every time. Like he usually stops or something, like, or you can kind of like guess, kind of like predict where he's gonna go, or you can kind of like aim those bubbles, like. But this is what you want in the end. You want him to give you your stuff back. Right. And then after the megaphone, if you've done everything correctly, you will trigger the telescope. So here, I hear the audio cue of the TV of the event. I know that I've triggered. I know that I've done everything correctly up to this point, and I know that we are doing the we're getting. I have enough money. I did all the events. We got the megaphone is just kind of like that's. Sometimes you'll do the megaphone or something, and then you won't get here. That means you mess something up, whether it be Olivine, whether it be Viridian, whether it be whatever. So I don't know. I mean, you can go into Pikachu or whatever, and you can do a bunch of little stuff. It looks like there is a bunch of crap here, and this is not good RNG at all. But you don't want him to start getting distracted and picking stuff up and doing all this stuff. I find I was watching a Japanese runner, and he just kind of went into this corner and looked down in the box, and it seemed to me like through just by the audio cues that I was getting of what Pikachu was doing, that it seemed to be faster than watching Pikachu cam and getting it potentially lagged. So even though this is anticlimactic and we're just staring at the ground, basically what's going on here is 100% RNG. I can't tell Pikachu to do anything. So I can hear what he's doing. He's taking a nap, which means he probably picked up a sunflower or a strawberry immediately, which those can cost you anywhere up from like a minute and 45, like a minute and 30 seconds minimum. Which, good luck if you get, you know, it costs you a minute and 30 seconds to like 5 minutes, because he might get off course and then pick up a bunch of other stuff. And so right now, I know this is bad. He's being distracted by Otis. He just woke up from a nap, which is probably a strawberry or sunflower. I know this is really bad RNG, and there's nothing you can do about it. Like, cause I mean, you know, just to go, cause this runs. Look at this line of bluebells, a couple strawberries, bluebell, a strawberry there, like strawberry over here. Um, Pikachu's getting distracted by like all of this. I can just tell when I first looked at the screen. This is a lot of crap that's gonna slow me down. So that he'll walk a straight line, and then if he gets in the like radius of something that's going to distract him, he will be distracted. So hopefully like the line that he's sort of on is not crowded with a bunch of things that are going to distract him, and that's you can spend anywhere from 8 minutes here to like 15 plus minutes, so you can lose 7 minutes or more on this segment for nothing you can do about it. So right now he just stumbled over a Diglett. I'm also like, by the segment timer, I know that a good screen run is going to be like 240 something, and we're like 4 minutes on the segment timer, so I know that I've already lost a minute and a half on this screen. So basically, like, if the run's perfect, everything's good, and then you get up to this point, you might get screwed. See, like that, you might get screwed. So instead of him triggering the end of the screen, boom, his face is on the floor, and we're just living it up with the time loss. Right. Okay, so again, to reduce lag, I'm just going to go to the end of the level. I think, you can scroll here and kind of like try to not target things. I'm noticing this green apple here, that's not good. But just do this to get everything off screen, and at this point it's just, pray to the RNG Jesus and hope to God that if you're on the God run that it stays that way, and you get like my gold splits like an 8.5 minute telescope, but like this right here, I know it's going to be over 10 minutes. So it is what it is. Hope you guys enjoyed Hey You Pikachu. There's this, and then you just say goodbye to Pikachu, which is one of the saddest things in video. Like, it's one of the saddest moments in like gaming, is cause you spend all that time with Pikachu, and then you just have to cut him loose and say goodbye. Up next, we have Psy 990 potentially looking to do Illusion of Gaia. I believe it's an 80% run. A couple hours of that. So, if not, maybe I'll talk to Unlink about what we can do for filler. But I'm gonna be like crashing and going to bed. But I'm glad I was able to finish Final Fantasy VII. Colin bailed out. Finish Street, which I got frustrated as hell when I lost some of those. I was like, ah, man, I want to give up. But I kept going, and I finished NFL Street. and then I had enough energy to pull off this Hey You Pikachu run, which I thought it was a very well explained video for a marathon, which is kind of what I was going for. This RNG is horrific, and Viridian 2 is really bad. I have a signature Viridian 2. It's like better than anyone else's, and I display that in the marathon, which is it's kind of an embarrassment, but you know, it is what it is. So this is the final screen of the telescope. He has to talk to Squirtle and then get up here to the shop and buy the telescope. So that's that. I mean, looks like we've got a nice yummy strawberry right there that could cost me a minute and a half to 2 minutes. But other than that, you know, everything looks good. He's tripping on a Diglett right now. I mean, I could just... At this point, like, I've played the games, like, I just tell by the audio what's happening with Pikachu, so I know what's going on, but a lot of people are probably watching just see me just doing nothing here, like, what's going on. So he's talking to... He noticed a Diglett. Yeah, with that P and the Diglett, yeah, he noticed a Diglett. He's heading over to Squirtle. Heading over here. Yeah, I'm surprised. Like, man, because this is actually a pretty decent run. I'm just surprised. I mean, that Viridian 2, I lost like 3 minutes, probably 2 to 3 minutes. And then right after that, fourth try Megaphone was kind of rough, but I'm not too upset about it. On top of this telescope RNG is... I'm losing several minutes here as well. But he's finally coming. He's coming around. So... Yeah, he noticed something before he could get in here. I'll show you. He noticed this, it's better than him seeing that frickin' strawberry. But there's another strawberry right there, so hopefully none of those come into play. Okay, we're good. So I had, you only need to have 20,100, I believe. So I had like 500 extra Poké Dollars, but it's not a bad thing to play safe. Sometimes the money gets weird, like you might like get a weird stew at the beginning, so there's like 600 less than you would normally have, and then you might have like miss a item or something, or you might not know what you picked up or something. But I always keep track, and I knew that I probably only needed like 5 items in Playground at that point, which was pretty spot on. Yeah. So we're about to finish the run. Time is dicks. What's coming up in 2 minutes and 20 seconds? You have an option to say goodbye to Pikachu or call him an electric rat, and that saves 5 seconds to call him an electric rat. That's one of the few things going on here, as well as just kind of bursting the bubbles as soon as possible and not hitting. Because if you do it too early, Pikachu won't understand it, and then Like the bubble will bounce off his head, and if you do it later, you know, you want to kind of just like right when you have the window to do so. Dicks. Thank you. That was pretty decent. The second one, you see that the first one bounced, that one didn't do anything. The second one landed in just about on time. Goodbye. So now you get to say goodbye to Pikachu. Goodbye. Electric Rat. Saves 5 seconds, but it's kind of mean to say, you know, hey, fuck off. If you say goodbye, he'll go goodbye and then walk off. It's timing. So yeah, that's my last run aside from the combo race that'll be on Sunday. So I'll be catching up on sleep and poking my head in and out of the runs from here on out.
Is the next run even on this?
Supposedly, let's see, Rye Bread 990. Looks like he's on now. Let me see. Yes, let me check. But yeah, I really appreciate the anonymous dicks $200 donation that came up right before this run. That was extremely hype, as well as, you know, all the donations that we've had and all the subscriptions and all the support that everyone has brought in. So like I said, I'll probably fulfill Joe D'Amelio's needs to get there first, because he has a Castlevania 4 run there, and you know, if we make a, you know, if we reach that entire goal, then I'll go. But if not, I'll probably just make sure that Joe D'Amelio can get there. Like, I do want to go, but it's all the way across the U.S. and you know, I don't have a run in, and I don't have too many big like the main reason is obviously to see people and see a lot of people that would want to meet up and hang out, and but it's not like as big of a priority as, hey, I gotta run into GDQ, so that's kind of where I stand on that. So yeah, I'll cut stream unless. Yeah, right. He says he's ready, so, and he's got his own commentators, so we'll have Sai rolling out of my penis shoe game. Hope you guys enjoyed it.